Viewers, beware, you're in for a scare, for I shall tell you the tale of how some friends met their tragic ends. For a god with no arms and legs would cause some people to lose their heads. But to find how this story ends, we must go to what most people dread. For the beginning of this story is not for the scared nor frail. Do allow me to weave you this really spooky tale.
These stories, the campfire is really warm.
Wow,
I don't know.
awesome.
It's really cool
I
outside
absolutely
though.
love this.
I don't know, but I have this.
This is awesome.
Halloween.
Wait. We're all here, and it's Halloween. You know what people do around campfires? They tell stories. Oh
God.
Sorry?
but like stories and like and it's spooky season, so I'm thinking we talk about scary stories and we can all go around and talk about them if anyone has one. I have one actually. I have a scary story. It's very scary. So if you're scared easily, sorry. Okay, so this scary story was something that happened right here in the valley. One night, someone that wore a bone hat. It was me. It was me. I was in my house and I was, mining away, clearing out some of the cave that's below my little platform. And then it was a bit late. I don't remember if it was 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. Maybe it was 4 a.m. But I was sitting there mining away at the bumpy gray rocks, trying to get more so I could put it in my wares shop and, sell it, hopefully to make a few more green rocks. But I was sitting there mining, and then I heard really weird sounds coming from down below, and I wasn't sure, like maybe it was just me, maybe I was just tired. I know that sound kind of echoes inside of the caves, and I thought it might have been me, but turns out it wasn't, because when I stopped moving, the sound kept going, and I thought it was a voice that kind of like I'm going wee, and I looked around, and I don't know, I was scared, but then I kept going, and I walked downstairs, and I went deeper into the mine, and I was scared because what if it was a zombie or a skeleton, like the zombies and the skeletons that you see sometimes around the valley, or like the scary people that, they go and they walk around in the caves and they're not very friendly. I haven't talked to one, so I wouldn't know, I'm sorry, but I was thinking to myself, maybe it's one of those, or maybe there might be a monster under my house. So I kept going because I wanted to be brave, and it was really scary, and I went down there, and then I saw, get this, the scariest thing of all. It moved. I heard the noises, and it went clank, clank, and whee, and I kept going and going because I was scared, but I was also really curious. And then when I saw what it was, there was the monster. But it wasn't really a monster, it was actually Dog. That's how I met Dog. I thought Dog was scary. Dog scared me for a bit, but Dog was actually very friendly, and now Dog's my friend. And that's my story. The end.
That wasn't really scary, right?
Exactly.
It wasn't that scary, right?
That's kind of
Did you like it?
It was a story. Scary.
Thank you.
Was
Yeah,
a
it was not
story.
scary.
that was kind of bad.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
Who said that?
Be nice.
Positivity.
Sally's been realistic.
That was great, Wombo. Good job.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job, yes.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean, that was
Gotta keep it that way.
Whatever.
I'm gonna say it for all of us. I think your story sucked, Wumbo.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think it was really bad.
it wasn't.
Come on, who agrees with me? Come on.
Yeah. I agree.
It was kind of bad.
It was definitely
really
it was something that happened. I mean, scary.
First.
You want a true story?
Ooh.
Oh, I have a great story about Valley's past. It's I'd say it's much scarier than yours. I call it the ooze. When I was a young fungalin, I was at the forefront of modern biological technology and was constantly constructing new things to improve my peers' lives. It wasn't an easy job, but I loved it. You can thank me for the creation of things such as the potato villagers, the modern vacuum, and edible dirt. But it wasn't always quality work. Making scientific discoveries requires trial, error, and patience. But arrogance can cost you everything. It was a chilling autumn afternoon. I was on a stroll outside the valley when suddenly I ran into a strange patch of land that was covered in a sort of goo-like substance. So I brought it back to my lab and decided to conduct tests on it. I tried and tried, but it had no reaction to anything I put it through. Eventually, I decided to give it a rest and leave it in cold storage. But that was my first mistake. Overnight, it began growing, taking form. I woke up to all of my equipment submerged in it, and a being of ooze standing before me, as if ready to strike. But what the ooze didn't know was that it was trapped inside with me. Oh no, don't worry, we're friends now. His name is Goobert. Oh, there he goes now.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Weirdo.
Okay.
I
I'm scared.
I
I think I like that.
I
story
don't
too
like
much.
that.
Oh, does anyone have a better one?
I mean, at least it was scary.
I might have something.
Nuni?
Is it more scary?
I'm not really sure. I'm better with fairy tales than spooky stories, but I can try.
Yeah, tell it.
I mean,
Okay.
we can give it a try.
Okay. Far away from the valley, past the plains that stretch beyond the towering snow-capped mountains, there is a lost town. The town appears once per year, in the dead pitch darkness of night. Each time it appears, it is different to the last. The buildings may be in a different place, the people never quite the same. Should you approach a citizen of the lost town, they will just stand and stare, mouth agape and eyes staring blankly past, aware of your presence, but unable to really comprehend you, as though you were a faded apparition, or perhaps a statue that they didn't recall being there before. They retain no memories of each other during this time. They seem to remember only a predestined backstory. They speak to each other as though following a script they've read 1,000 times before, although you cannot presently. Should you somehow gain the ability to communicate with the citizens, they would not be able to tell you how long they had lived there. They would not be able to tell you the names of any neighboring town. They would not be able to provide you with more than a basic understanding of who they are. Most concerningly, they would not recall having ever left. Within the lost town there is a townhouse. Although with each passing year, the town may shift and waver, the townhouse rests itself from the furthest point of a traveler's entrance. To reach the building, you must pass through each bustling, yet empty and haunting street, past lights that barely flicker on, and through grass that always feels a little too cold. You must pass by buildings in which the cracks in each stone feel as though it held some unidentifiable creature growing within. You must pass by the well that is never full of water, the farms with each crop rotten, and the animals who stand unresting. All the while, the citizens appear to remain oblivious to the status of their home, ignorant to the waste, but not quite blissful. Should you want to enter the townhouse, you will be met at the door with a sign hanging loosely from the handle. Be back soon, it always says, though, even if you could speak with them, the townsfolk could not tell you they had ever recalled someone living there. Should you open the door, the handle will snap and fall off, the brass seeming to dissolve, in part, into your hands. You should place the remains of the door handle on the nearest table inside, in case, of course, the owner should return. Each door inside also has no handle, though these don't seem to have broken off. It seems as though there were never supposed to be any in the first place. It feels like the house tries to tell you to move in one more specific direction. A staircase to the very far corner of the entry room beckons you forward. Should you travel down these stairs, you would immediately begin to feel a little more sleepy. You travel down, 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 but you never seem to reach the bottom. The further you walk into the depths of this never-ending spiral staircase, the more aware you become of a constant presence. And it always felt like you were being watched. You couldn't be sure. The citizens, high above you now surely, had looked right through you after all. They might feel as though they could see you now. They were not nearby. You had been traveling down these stairs for who knows how long now. And who, besides you, could know how long it had been? Should you finally reach the bottom of the spiral staircase, you would find a door. A door that had a small, cold handle of a shoddily carved wood. Your hand would ache and blister should you try to take hold, but after all, you had come this far, so why not twist it and see what remains on the other side? Should you pass through this door, you would appear through one of the doors in the townhouse, the doors with no handle on the other side. It wouldn't occur to you that, by no means, should a staircase leading only down into a seeming eternity would lead you right back to where you started. Should you approach the part of the entry room with a small table by it, you would find a small table with a sign that rests on it. Be back soon. Something about it feels familiar, but not strange. You would pick up the sign, open the front door, and hang it on the new brass handle. A beautiful piece of craft, in your own opinion. After all, you had surely made it. Should you walk away from the townhouse, the streets would feel a little different to the last time you had passed over them, but perhaps your memory was just betraying you today. You would greet your neighbors that you had felt you knew all your life, though you weren't quite sure of how long that may have been. Should you continue your walk, you may come to a stop in confusion. You would stare ahead, blankly, at something both there in front of you, but simultaneously not quite. A broken shimmer in the air, moving the horizon in a way that didn't quite make sense. You would continue your walk, as would the apparition you could barely see. Time didn't quite feel real, but no matter. How long had you been out? You weren't quite sure, but the evening was young and you continued, past the streets you knew so well by now. How you knew them, you weren't quite sure. You had lived there all your life, most likely. The apparition would move beyond you, in a way you would remain unaware of, towards a townhouse that was never quite in the same place, but always furthest from the entry point of a traveler passing through. You wouldn't be quite sure what that meant. This town didn't get any travelers. It was always you and the people you know so well. No matter. You would know these travelers. They would feel as though you had known them forever, just as your neighbors knew you.
I think that was a really good story.
That actually
That
wasn't that bad.
That was good.
really good. I very
Yeah.
much enjoyed it.
That
I'll
was
give you
kind of
props for that one.
Surely that place
Thank
doesn't
you.
exist though, right? I mean,
That was nice, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Don't worry about
think
it.
that place would exist at all.
I'm just the messenger.
Where did you hear about that, by the way?
Book.
Was it
Book.
like a spooky, scary book?
I like books.
Or
I don't know, I
like
found it
a-
on my doorstep one day, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'll put this in a bookshelf. And then I
Yeah.
read it, and it's not word for word, I haven't like memorized it or anything, but that was like the gist of it.
Mystical book. It's a mystical book.
Well,
I mean, we
that,
know weird books, Cheesy.
I mean, me personally, that was. It was a really good story. Thank you all for showing
like
up
it, yeah.
to. Thank you all for showing up to.
Oh, there you go.
Put down the weed, okay?
Pumpkin spice one.
Put down the weed.
The pumpkin spice weed that I created. Milking pumpkins.
I think I should be naked the whole time.
Please! Please!
And I hope my game doesn't explode from this.
It's
Uh
Uh-oh.
oh. Oh, never mind. We're good.
SkelliePossibly has left the server.
We're good.
I'm taking screenshots and Skelly is just throwing it back in the corner and I don't like it.
Put it back.